Welcome back to Heaven's Kitchen. Hi, I am Janelle and I have the Telly award-winning BCAM-TV crew back here in Heaven's Kitchen. So we are going to have a magnificent show for you today. I'm going to show you how to do one of the most requested dinners as an Italian. Everybody always says to me, would you please make a lasagna? Well, everybody says, I'm never going to make a lasagna, it's too much work. I'm going to show you how you can do a weeknight lasagna. And I know you don't believe me because you're thinking, I get home from work, I barely have time to find my phone, get the kids started on homework, and order a pizza. But wait till I show you what we've got going on for today. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to run over to the stove. I've got the water starting. And this will be the key to the magical shortcut of this lasagna. So I have a friend, and I'm going to come over to the freezer and introduce you to her. My friend is Mama Rosie. And Mama Rosie is going to make our weeknight lasagna a possibility. So the one thing, obviously, you can't do in a weeknight is make yourself a sauce. I make my own marinara. If you don't want to make your own, pick your favorite jarred sauce. That'll be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the cover off of this baby, which should be almost ready to drop. And while we're waiting for that to get to a boil, I'm going to bring my sauce and my meatballs because I couldn't have the crew come without making meatballs for them. So this will be what we're going to need to put this beautiful, magical dinner together. So you are taking frozen ravioli, whichever kind your family likes. They come in spinach, they come in 4 cheese, and just for the fun of it, I got a regular size and a mini, and I'm going to use them both just for fun. So our water's ready. I'm going to just do a quick little drop of these. And the beauty of ravioli, I'm going to time them anyway. It's 4 to 6 minutes. I'll time them for 4 because they got plenty of water to swim in. We're going to give them a quick little swish around the pan so they don't stick on the bottom. All right, 4 minutes is all it's going to take. What I want to tell you while we get those cranking is how simply we're going to put this together. A lasagna is done by layering. The most time-consuming part of it is prepping your noodles, which you can now buy the no-boil ones, which are great too, but still it takes a long time to cook. This way, I've already warmed up this sauce. Meatballs are ready to go. And if you do a jarred sauce, you can literally pop it in the microwave. So the time-consuming part is generally getting the ricotta together. So the ricotta usually requires egg, and you put your herbs and a bunch of cheeses in it. So this way, we've got my friend over there who's done them in a ravioli. So we're going to layer our ravioli with our sauce and more and more and more and more and more cheese. And it basically makes a ready for the oven without having to cook in the oven. A lasagna in a pan, this one of my favorite lasagna pans is this one here, will probably be about 45 minutes when you layer it with regular no-boil noodles. But now that we're going to have our ravioli ready to go in 4 minutes, we're going to layer everything and put it all together. All I'm doing is popping it in the oven to melt the cheese on top. So we're going to just take a quick break so I can let these finish. We'll be back in 2 seconds. We're going to assemble this lasagna, and we're halfway to a weeknight dinner. I'll be right back. Just as promised, 4 minutes. I've already drained off the ravioli. We're ready to go. When you build a lasagna, it's the same concept, whether you use noodles or you do my little shortcut version. First thing you start with, you got to layer your pan, obviously, so it doesn't stick. So I am going to, without getting it hopefully all over my sweater, I'm going to start my first layer. Just get some sauce in there. And I promise we will do a sauce making class as well. I just wanted to have this ready. And I like to try to keep a 30-minute show. So you can watch it when you're getting the kids settled in front of their homework and say, wow, maybe I'll do that tomorrow night. So Simple, simple, simple. Here go my ravioli. I'm not going to be too fussy about my decor on my first layer because it's my first layer. No one's going to see it. And yes, it's hot. And no, I'm not a chef, but I do have chef fingers at this point because I've been cooking long enough. So I'm not concerned about this being super fancy schmancy on my first layer. Okay? I am going to kind of at least make sure there's a ravioli in every section. You could painstakingly line them up if you wish, but when someone sticks a spoon in this, it's going to be like a casserole, so you don't have to really worry. There you go. That's all you need, because you're going to stick the spoon in as we go. Now, cheeses. I do a combination of Parmesan and Romano. We'll give that a little sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. All right. Then, this is a 6-cheese Italian. This has got all the goods. This has mozzarella, Asiago, provolone, and a couple of others to make it superb. And obviously, you can't have enough cheese. You can't have too much cheese. So this is going to be not gigantic by any stretch, but it's going to be enough for a beautiful after-shoot lunch for everyone. And now I'm putting more rav on, and then I'm going to put another layer of sauce on, and we're just going to keep putting everything together. And as you can see, if you don't have to be fancy, obviously if I was making this for a dinner party or something fancy, I would take the time to literally lay each one in a pretty row, but it's not necessary. It's truly not necessary. So here we go, as long as you cover each spot so that when you use your lasagna server, you're going to have a ravioli and some pasta in every serving. And now you don't have to totally drown it unless you have a family that loves, loves, loves sauce. Mine loves my sauce, but I don't like to drown it. So, more cheese, of course more cheese. Of course. More Parmesan and Romano. More of my blend. Oh, see what I'm saying? And now, the magic part of this, as I just explained, I'm going to try to do the last layer a little fancier. And now that I can hold them without burning my fingers off. So, the beauty of this is I'm dealing with hot pasta. I have warm sauce. The only thing the oven's going to do for me is melt my cheese. So instead of it being a 40-minute lasagna, it's going to be from soup to nuts, what, 10, maybe 15? So I've got Martha preheated while we were just draining off the ravioli. I preheated her to 375. So I think this looks fabulous, and I hope you agree. So let's scatter the rest. And my fingers are getting a little hot, but I'm doing all right. Look at this. I think we could do a lightning lasagna contest, and I'd win. Look at that. Okay, I'm not wasting a single pillow of this fantasticness. Alrighty, ready? Let me wipe my hands really quickly. More sauce. And I have my meatballs here. Because everything's pre-cooked, I of course could layer the meatballs on top. That'd be beautiful too. But I think I'll just let the guys help themselves with the meatballs as much as they want. So we definitely want to be a little more generous with the sauce on the final layer. And we're just about to where I like it. Okay. Now look at this. Does this look spectacular? And frankly, I think visually it's just beautiful. It has a lot of character with all the different, that's why I wanted to use the 2 different sizes, and I didn't have a chance to call my award-winning crew yesterday to ask if they'd like a Florentine version, but my Kayleen and my son Tom and my husband Tom love the Florentine, which is with spinach ravioli. So yeah, there's Martha right on time. Martha is ready, preheated. Look at how beautiful. I mean, do you not love that? What are we gonna do with the cheese? Use every last bit of it. Because just like when I make calzone, my cameraman Jerry says, Janelle, more cheese, more cheese. So I'm not gonna have him tell me that today. I'm using it all up. Okay. All right, folks. I'm not gonna have you watch while I walk it to the oven, but I am going to give you the benefit of seeing how gorgeous it looks when it comes out. So, I wasn't timing it, but it felt pretty quick to me. I'm gonna go back over to Martha, get this popped in. 15 minutes in my convection at 375 is all it's gonna be. And we're gonna be ready with step one of this beautiful lunch here in Heaven's Kitchen. Hang in and I'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to my Eastman kitchen. Welcome to Heaven's Kitchen. Welcome to Heaven's Kitchen. Welcome to Heaven's Kitchen. Welcome to Heaven's Kitchen. Welcome back to Heaven's Kitchen. Hi, I'm Janelle, and I am so happy to have you here. Well, we can already smell our beautiful weeknight, in this case weekday, lasagna in the oven. I've got a great dessert that I want to share. I made it for my band, brought it down. They went in 5 minutes. They're called flourless cookies. I call them hot fudge cookies. They are to die for. So they're also gluten-free. So if you have a gluten-free need in your family, this is a great go-to. It's also a great go-to for a bake sale. So here it is. I pre-measured so we can speed things up a little bit. No flour. Instead of flour, I am using confectionery sugar. Okay, that's our base. Already measured it. This is 2 1/4 cups of confectionery sugar, dumped right in. Doesn't even matter what order I'm putting these things in. This is 1/4 teaspoon of salt in. Espresso powder, gotta get good quality. These I get from King Arthur flour because I adore King Arthur flour, and I have the blessing of having a place pretty close to Norwich, Vermont, so I got the best. 1 teaspoon of espresso powder. And what that is basically it's the stuff that you make that delicious espresso coffee with that I have every morning. 1 teaspoon. And it smells absolutely divine. Love the stuff. Okay, cocoa. Again, do not skimp on cocoa. This is a double Dutch cocoa. I need a cup of it. Phenomenal. Don't get cheap cocoa. If you're gonna bother making a beautiful chocolate fudge cookie, you gotta get the right chocolate. Right in there. And I hope I just told you, I believe I told you it's 1 cup of cocoa. Okay, my vanilla, again, get a good vanilla. Do not, please, use the imitation vanilla that you get at the dollar store. Don't do it. Have to have my sniff of vanilla. You know my vanilla story. I've told you a million times how I always ask my mother to taste it, and it tastes gross, but I just thought it was the best thing in the world. But it's really not, unless you use it to bake with. Okay, last, the only liquid in this is egg white. So I'm going to need 3 of them. Let's see if I can do this nice and neat. I certainly hope I can. And there are many ways. People have all their tricks. I just use the shell itself. That's all I'm going to do. Okay? And I don't waste a thing in this house, so I save the yolks and I add them to my frittata that I will make, because Tom Snarsky is working on a new menu and a new diet, so he's loving his frittatas. Waste not, want not. Those yolks are going in tonight's frittata for dinner. Come on now. Almost there. This is the only liquid I have. I wouldn't be fighting with this so much, but it's the only liquid in this cookie, so I know I'm going to need it. Okay, last one. Oh, and I'm so happy. I don't want to speak too soon, but I did not fracture any yolk into my white. Woohoo! Done. Okay, folks. Give me a quick rinse. Now, egg yolks get saved for frittata. Egg whites right inside. And in 2 seconds, if you don't have a mixer, I'll tell your husband or whoever your significant other is to buy you one because they're sensational. But if you don't have a mixer, you can, of course, beat it by hand. But this thing works tremendously and gives me a great dough. So I'm going to put my paddle on. I'm going to mix it gently. Obviously, don't crank it right away because if you do, you're going to have cocoa all over your face, your countertops, your everything. So we're going to let that mix nicely. And once it starts to get moist from the egg whites, we can crank it up slowly. There we go. And it's going to be a smooth, beautiful dough. Kick it up one more time. And you'll see how it's getting wet and beautiful, almost like a real smooth brownie dough. So I'm gonna let the mixer finish, take a quick break, and I'll show you how to put them together and bake them up. They're gonna be awesome. Be right back. My cookie batter is perfect, but my very quick lasagna already beeped, so let's get that out of the oven so it is perfect. Let's see. Oh, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Bubbling, cheesy, toasty, perfect. Absolutely going to be delicious. I am excited. So we're gonna let that hang out. I'm gonna adjust my stove because I need to make that a little bit cooler for cookies. We were at 375, don't forget. Now we are going to be at 350 for my cookies. So that'll adjust down in the 2 minutes it's going to take me to drop them. So again, my toys. I have so many great toys. This is just a 1 tablespoon scoop. I use it for cookies. I use it for making all the meatballs that are in that pot. Just makes it simple. Don't be concerned when you lay these on your parchment. Oh, and that reminds me, the parchment needs to be greased, everybody. And I almost forgot to tell you that. So parchment, absolutely, positively, for sure, greased. Because there's no fat in these cookies. There's no butter. There's no shortening. So you need to make sure they're not going to stick. So it is this gorgeous. And that's why I told you hot fudge. I mean, it looks like hot fudge. It tastes like hot fudge. And I'm just going to do